I want to give a disclaimer. This is not me defending R. Kelly or any pedophile at all. This is just me stating facts. And I think this is something that the new generation needs to really understand. They need to really kind of get. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you think R. Kelly is the worst of the worst when it comes to this type of subject, honestly, you would be sadly mistaken. There's a reason why a lot of big name celebrities aren't speaking on it. A lot of big name celebrities, you know, a lot of my industry connects, a lot of the cats I know who do interviews, and some of the celebrities that I do know, they don't speak on it because it's so taboo, because cancel culture has a way of affecting careers, especially careers of black celebrities. You know, a lot of other races don't really care too much about it, but a lot of black celebrities can lose everything, especially men. The black men in this game can lose everything when it comes to cancel culture, you know, and I think a lot of it has to do with just a lot of you ladies that are out there, you tie your trauma into someone else's trauma, and then you think it's the same when obviously it's not. Like, case in point, Aaliyah. Everyone, I see a lot of posts where women are saying, Aaliyah, you know, I know she was in pain, I know she was hurting, I know, you know R. Kelly damaged her, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I don't think that was the case at all. I think, honestly, it was much deeper than that, and let me explain why. Me and Aaliyah are the same age. You know, she was born a year before me. But the way the calendar goes, I at least reach her age months before she goes above me. So in other words, if I turn 15 in this month, then she would be 16 in a couple of months. But anyway, Aaliyah reminds me of a lot of the girls that grew up in my neighborhood, a lot of my cousins. That being said, it's basically a lot of young girls back then loved older men, and I'm not condoning that at all in 2021. But I'm being honest with you, for someone who grew up in that era, it kind of sucked because, like, a lot of the girls, especially when I got to high school, were already dating older men. Like, a lot of them, not. It was a good chunk of about 30% of the black girls in my school dated older men. And when I say older, I don't necessarily mean old men. At least not all of them. Like, one girl I knew, she was a freshman in high school, and her boyfriend, you know, he had graduated the year before, and she brought him to homecoming, and he was actually in the military. Like, this dude literally was like 19 years old in the military, and she was like 16, she had just turned 16. You know, and they were dating. You know, they were a couple, and her parents were fine with it. Her mother and father were fine with that. Another girl I knew, she was pregnant in high school. Her boyfriend, you know, he wasn't a well, he's a cool dude now. I see him around town, but like, she was pregnant by this dude who was like older. He was much more mature. He was, you know, and he was kind of a gangster. You know what I'm saying? She used to drive his Caprice to school sometimes. Well, you know, before her belly got big, and then he would drop her off. So it was like, but nobody would say nothing. And basically, that's just what it is, you know. Now, going back to Aaliyah, everyone is like really dogging R. Kelly out. And a lot of people were saying, oh, well, R. Kelly, this, that, and the other. Aaliyah is on the record at least 2 videos that I've seen, maybe 3, I'm not 100% sure, where she has said that nothing happened, nothing was going on. Just look at the whole logic of it. It was basically Aaliyah came out, they came out with the song, they did, you know, Back and Forth and all those other songs or whatnot, and it was cool. It was really dope. But then, you know, the rumors started circulating about R. Kelly actually marrying her. Now, I'm not gonna lie, according to the times back then, like I said, I don't condone this at all. Him allegedly marrying her, that took it too far. Because one thing a lot of other celebrities weren't doing that was into this type of thing, they weren't marrying their girlfriends or boyfriends. You know, none of that was going on. You know, they literally was like, you know, it was on some other, it was basically like, okay, we do this and this till you turn 18, then we'll get married or whatever. And, you know, that's just what it was. But and nobody really looked into it. Like everyone's saying, oh well, you know, they got it. No, her family. I guarantee you, her family knew about it, and because it wasn't like it happened and somebody called the police. It happened, and they were married for a hot second, and then all of a sudden, according to the court papers, they got annulled. So, and then they both kind of went under a little hiatus. You know, R. Kelly finished his tour or whatever. Aaliyah did what she had to do, and then all of a sudden, you know, all the ties were severed with R. Kelly and, you know, Barry Hankerson, and, you know, it kind of went on. And all of a sudden, R. Kelly came out with his third album, and Aaliyah came out with One in a Million. And if you listen to those albums, it's weird because it's almost like they're talking to each other on certain songs. You know what I'm saying? Especially even the album after the R. Kelly album, the R album, there's songs that sound like he's talking to her, but kind of subliminally. But that's neither here nor there. You listen to a lot of the things that people are saying, like you listen to Timbaland. Timbaland says on his Behind the Music that he was in love with Aaliyah, and Timbaland is at least 7 to 8 years older than Aaliyah. So he was, you know, he held back his feelings allegedly. But one person we don't talk about is Ginuwine. Ginuwine, you know, I'm not saying that they slept together. I don't know them personally, but Ginuwine was definitely grinding on her in her videos. Ginuwine was, you know, they were real close. There's lots of pictures of them kind of hugged up on each other when she was 16. You know what I'm saying? So this was like these pictures when she was younger. And you can't name a time where Aaliyah was with a man when, you know what I'm saying, you with a young man her age. You can't name a time when that happened. You cannot do it. I guarantee you. You know what I'm saying? And even when she got older, you know, she started messing with, you know, DMX, Jay-Z, Dame Dash. You know what I'm saying? And Jay-Z and Dame Dash alone, they got her by over 10 years. Now, being that it's her prerogative to do that, you know, once she becomes an adult, or at least old enough to, you know, whatever the state she's in, can make that decision, and she's old enough to make that decision. But at the same time, I mean, that's kind of creepy. You got, you know, these cats, and the way Dame Dash kind of speaks on her, you know, it's kind of weird. Like, I've never heard Dame Dash, I never heard her mom or her brother really condone the relationship, or you say that it was a legit relationship. I mean, I've seen pictures with him, her and her mom, but that could have been any time. You know what I'm saying? And nobody knew about the engagement until after Aaliyah died. The first time I heard about it was when MTV interviewed him, and he said we were supposed to get married. But I've never heard Aaliyah say she was going to get married. But like I said, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. Like, you look at DMX, you look at Timbaland, you look at Ginuwine, Jay-Z, Dame Dash. Aaliyah liked older men. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? A lot of girls back then, teenage girls were dating older men. A lot of teenage boys were dating older women too. Like, if you listen to songs like Just Can't Handle It by High Five, they literally that was their first hit. They were basically singing about being 16 and dating a 25-year-old woman. MC Lyte has a song out where she's talking about, you know, like, I think it's called Too Old for What? But basically she's talking about young dudes and showing them how to do it. And people say, well, she's talking about a 20, no, MC Lyte made this song when she was in her 20s. She was definitely tired. Plus, she mentioned some things about being a young boy, you know, shit like that. So, this was very common back then. You know what I'm saying? R. Kelly, I ain't gonna lie, R. Kelly kind of ruined it. And when I say ruined it, I don't say it like, oh man, I can't. I mean, like, he ruined it for everybody, because that's once the R. Kelly tape came out, once, you know, that 2002 tape was released, everybody watched it. And I love watching people cap about it. Like, I got a homeboy right now who was on Facebook bragging, talking about, oh man, I never could watch that tape. When I specifically remember this dude borrowing the tape from our homeboy who brought it back from Chicago when we were in college, and this dude would watch it every single day. You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh man, look at that. Oh, that's nasty. Because he had a porn addiction. So now he's saying he never watched it. And I'm like, yeah, right. But the thing is, once that tape came out, that's when everything changed. It all became different. Suddenly now, everybody's being careful. Suddenly, all the men and women that are with these people who are way too young for them, they're now, you know, they're of age, they're marrying them now. They're, you know, getting that part of the law out the way. I guarantee if you look up some of these celebrities and their spouses, or even their ex-spouses, and look at the age gap, and especially compared with when their children were born, your mouth is gonna drop. I'm telling you, it is what it is. I spoke with celebrities, I spoke with cats in the industry, and they're like, there's a reason why these cats aren't talking. There's a reason why the Mary J. Blige's, the Jay-Z's, and a lot of people aren't speaking on it. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to say that, like look at Mary J. Blige. She had an allegation from Danny Boy. Danny Boy said he was smashing when he was like 15. You know what I'm saying? That she would fly him out. You know what I'm saying? Now, I say that to say this. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the reasons why anything that happened, like with me, anything that happened before I was born in society, I try not to judge because it was different. Like, one of the things I seen thrown around is Elvis grooming Priscilla Presley when she was 14 and basically grooming her all the way till she was 21. Then he married her. I see Jerry Lee Lewis, what he did was wrong. This dude married his 13-year-old cousin. He's bugging. I see like Steven Tyler. I was born around that time, but Steven Tyler, but anyway, the Elvis and the Jerry Lee Lewis, I wasn't born around that time. So the times were super different back then. Like people say, oh, it was a sick time back then. It was definitely the dark ages, but at the same time, that was a time where, let's say I was a father back then, and I found out some older guy my age was messing with my young daughter or touched her. I could go with my brothers, murk him out, bury him, or throw him in the river, and wouldn't nobody think nothing of it. You know what I'm saying? I can go talk to my homeboy, the sheriff, and say, yeah, I know where his body is, and they're like, well, what had happened? I was like, well, he was messing with my daughter, and the sheriff would agree with me, and that's it, justice served. You can't do that no more. It's so, like, I try not to judge it, and that's one thing that makes me mad about cancel culture, because they dig and dig and dig. It's like you dig so much, then when you find something, you want to, like, put it on blast. And I'm be honest with y'all, a lot of it is fake rage. I don't believe mute R.Kelly for a second, because it's all fake rage. The one woman from mute R.Kelly, she was basically trying to get free meals using her status. They were actually having events like, Surviving R. Kelly discussion where they had all these panelists up, and none of them were a part of the video. None of them were the victims. They literally there was one where one of the victims' moms was at a panel, and it was like, why is she here? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, like a lot of people are making money off of this situation, but I'm not here for that. I'm here just to basically kind of explain it to y'all why it happened, or my theory on why it happened. I think honestly it was just one of those things that went too far. I think, granted, she was young, and maybe it sounded like a good idea that they got married on, when they said it, but once it's on paper, it's not a good idea because, of course, R. Kelly was like 25, 26, and she was 15 when they got married. Of course, that doesn't look good. That looks kind of creepy. I mean, even a 35-year-old man marrying a 25-year-old woman, that looks creepy. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you another example before I let you go. Wanya Morris was dating Brandy when she was like 15 or 16. And he got like 6 years on her. You know what I'm saying? And you don't believe me, go look at Brandy's, I think it's either Driven or Unsung, and they talk about it. Her mom, we said I was uneasy about it, but it is what it is. They dated or whatever. Now, they never confirmed they had sex, but they just, Wanya has came out recently saying that they weren't dating her. He tried to kind of cover his ass because now he could be canceled if need be. I don't want him canceled, but at the same time, it's just something that you look at. Like, that's just kind of what it is. Madonna stays looking for young dudes. Granted, she stays within the legal age point, but, Cougar is on the loose. And another thing about this type of thing is when women do this type of stuff, y'all think it's cute. I think it's really cute when women do this stuff, but when men do it, it's sickening, right? Like, for instance, before COVID, every year there was always a case about a teacher, which, by the way, I feel like when teachers do this, they should get like a mandatory 40. Because when you're in jail and you have sex with a guard or any of the staff in the prison, you're going to jail. And you get caught, you're going to jail. So I feel like teachers should get like a hard 40 because that's just super crazy, But anyway, before COVID, every year you would hear about 2-3 teachers, female teachers, sleeping with male students. And you would hear the story maybe briefly. It'd be like, such and such, such school. Teacher had sex with a young boy and You know, it was caught because he was texting or whatever, and then she loses her teacher's license. She got probation. But if a male teacher has sex with a female student, then it's like world news. You know, ABC News special report: tragedy at Southwest High, brought to you by Kraft. It's like, it's crazy, right? You know what I'm saying? Now, I know you're thinking, well, what do you think that everybody should get? Well, no, I think, my thing is, I'm a person that I want everything straight across the board. I want people to be able to, if you get punished for it like this, they should get punished like this for it. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm in on that. But as far as the Aaliyah situation go, I think it was really wrong for them to bring the Aaliyah situation up, especially when her family, her friends, people that knew her, nobody spoke up at that trial on Aaliyah's behalf. They just went off of an assumption. Now, would that help R. Kelly's case? Probably not. But at the same time, it's dumb. It's kind of dumb because, you know, R. Kelly has, you know, for the most part, maintained his respect for Aaliyah and her family. Whenever they have an interview, he doesn't speak on her. Like when he did the interview with Torre asked about that, and he said, yo, out of respect for the family, I'm not going to speak on it because, you know, she's not here to defend herself. And I thought that was very noble of him. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, her family's not speaking on it or whatever. So that's how I look at it. That's really all I got to say about it. But I just really want y'all to really look into it. You know, I want y'all to think about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. Aaliyah's never been seen with a guy her age. She's always with older men. You know what I'm saying? That's what girls were back then. A lot of girls were like that. They loved older dudes. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's real, you know. My son's mom, she dated older dudes. You know what I'm saying? I'm like the first dude her age that she dated. You know what I'm saying? Every dude she dated before me was older than her. So that's just what it is. Hell, my baby mama, my oldest daughter, her mom got me by 4 years. I love older women. I used to love older women, man. When I was a kid, I grew up with a bunch of older cousins. You know what I'm saying? When I was 15, getting ready to turn 16, I was actually dating a older woman. You know what I'm saying? She was like 27 years old. You know what I'm saying? I never snitch on mama, but, you know, I was dating. Well, I didn't even say we were dating. We were messing around. So, but, you know, I was young. She was older. You know what I'm saying? She was renting me games, renting me movies. She gave me a little bit of money. So that's just what it was. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it was right, but that's kind of what I did personally. So, but I'll tell y'all about that one day. I'm not going to get too deep into that right now, but yeah, I just want to tell me what y'all think. A lot of you young cats, you know, y'all probably going to say it's sickening, but remember, it was a different time. And like I said, if you really did your homework on some of these celebrities, you would understand why I'm saying that it's just what it was. You know what I'm saying? You know, everybody's trying to rebrand themselves to kind of, or just stay away from it totally. But I guarantee if you dig deep enough, you're going to go down a rabbit hole that you're going to be afraid of. But anyway, holla at your boy. It's just a fan's perspective. That's all.